Today I'm going to explain to you how you get views on YouTube. This is 100% facts. I'm not gonna make you lose your time with a bunch of stuff. First off, to get views on YouTube, there's 3 steps: the title and thumbnail, the watch time, and then the session time. These are the 3 metrics that determine if your video gets views or not. So the higher those metrics are, the higher views you'll get. Those 3 things can be found in the YouTube analytics. So first off, there's something called impressions. So impressions is the amount of people who've seen your video in general. So that includes people who've seen your video but haven't clicked on it. So out of those people, there's something called CTR, and that's the percentage of people who've clicked on your video after seeing it. So with 37 million impressions, 11% click-through rate makes 5.2 million views. Now, impressions will come naturally. You can have literally 0 subscribers, you'll get as many impressions as possible. But that's only if you get high watch time and good click-through rate. So how do you get good click-through rate? Well, you have to make a very good thumbnail and title. Title, I would recommend making titles under 33 characters long. I never usually go above 33 characters, that's pretty much the max. For the thumbnails, you don't want to have any more than 3 elements, and you don't want to lose any space on the thumbnail. So for example, this one, you can see he literally doesn't lose any space. The entire thumbnail is used by something. There's no dead space. Same for this one. Same for this one. So to make people click, they first have to see your video. You have to make your thumbnails eye-catching. I've studied graphic design, and I know that one of the biggest things that make an image eye-catching is contrast. So there's something called the color wheel, and a contrast is basically when you use a color that's the opposite of another color on this wheel. So for example, imagine you're using the color blue, then the contrast would be red or orange. So for example, here he uses the color blue, so the contrast is red. Same for here, color blue, the contrast is orange. Here you can see he uses the color purple. What is the contrast of purple? It's yellow, so he uses yellow. Use contrast to make your thumbnails eye-catching, don't put any dead space, and keep everything as bright as possible. Also, the left part of your thumbnail is the most important one, because when people look at your thumbnail, they start by looking at the top left, they then move on to the top right, and go back here. So here, for example, the first thing you see is the hand, and then you look at the boy instantly, and then you read the title. So you want to make them see the thumbnail fully and then read the title. Also, never use words on your thumbnails. Your title is supposed to be a title, so don't repeat your title or don't put anything that's in the title in the thumbnail. The title already says that, so you don't have to say it again in your thumbnail. I see a lot of people doing this, and so that's free advice for you. You don't want to make it seem like you're clickbaiting your viewers. So for example, if you look at Dream, he has literally his thumbnails are screenshots, so you know it's not fake. Same for a lot of different creators, they literally use screenshots of the video. Now moving on to the second step is making the video engaging. So the goal of YouTube is to make people watch YouTube for the longest time possible. So one of the ways you can prove YouTube that your videos are worth getting loads of views is by having high view duration. So basically, here's a graph, and as you can see, it shows whenever the graph goes down, that's when people stop watching the video. Whenever it goes up, that means people are interested in a specific part of the video. So for example, you can see it goes gradually down. You want to make them stay at least at on average at 40 or 50%, or even more is the best. So that's called average view percentage, and you want to have the biggest percentage at the end as possible. And that's how you get high views. So for example, you can see this is a 2-minute video, and the average view duration is 59 seconds. So that's around 50%. But what made this video pretty popular is that the fact that the click-through rate was pretty high. An average click-through rate, by the way, is between 3% to 6%, and a good click-through rate is 8% to 12%, and all of the above. Also, your click-through rate may look higher as soon as you post. That's because it's recommending to less people. So for example, if it recommends to 5 people and 2 click, obviously that's going to be 20% CTR. But that doesn't mean that if you get 1 million views, this is going to be 20% CTR. Now moving on to the third step is making the viewers' session time higher. So making them watch your videos. So when they watch one of your videos, they want to watch another one and another one and another one. So that's basically how you make YouTube say, okay, this channel is very good, recommend it to loads of people. You want your videos to be very consistent. So for example, if you have 5 videos about saving people's lives and then 1 video about, for example, I don't know, shopping, then that one video would be different than the other ones. So people who like those videos of you saving people won't care about this one. So when they check your channel, they'll see the video that they don't care about, and that will make them less likely to subscribe. Now, moving on to the next steps, know that the description of your video barely matters, except if you're trying to get recommended through search. All of the other metrics I've showed you before will get you recommended through the homepage. So the description only matters if you want your videos to get a high search rate. Same thing for the tags. Tags barely do anything nowadays. I even see MrBeast not even using tags in his videos. The man really doesn't care. To help you increase your session time, you can add end screen, cards, or even call to actions directly in the video. To make the videos extremely engaging, you don't want to over edit it. You want to make people feel emotions, because that's how people remember your channel. You want to make them feel emotions. So I recommend you would study, for example, storytelling. I personally use the 12-part storytelling, the hero's journey. It's basically a formula that's used in every single Pixar movie and pretty much every single movie you've seen. There's literally a rule that makes it that you can't publish a book if it doesn't follow those 12 steps. So follow the 12-part storytelling, or otherwise your video is gonna suck. The storytelling is gonna suck and people are gonna feel disengaged. You wanna make your videos about 8 minutes long. If you're monetized, you'll still get money on the videos that are under 8 minutes long. But what you can do is with 8-minute videos, you will get a higher RPM, which is the amount of money you'll get per 1,000 views. And also you'll be able to choose where you put the ads in the video. So for example, if there's like a peak moment, you can put an ad right there so people watch the entire ad to see the peak moment. To study thumbnails, I recommend you study psychology and what makes people focus. So for this, I recommend this book called Captivology by Ben Parr. It's a book about what makes people focus and the science behind people's attention and how you can apply that to your artistic needs. For attention, I recommend you read the book The YouTube Formula. This book is literally written by somebody that helps MrBeast with his videos. So you know it's real advice when it's this type of people. I've got some other quick tips for you. Don't try too much to copy other people, especially MrBeast, because people see him get 100 million views per upload, but that doesn't mean that he does everything right, because he does everything right for his channel. So what works for his channel won't necessarily work for your channel. So you have to find what works for your niche and for what you want to do. If you're thinking of starting a channel, or if you still have one but have yet to get your first viral video, I recommend you post videos about a specific niche. So a niche on YouTube is basically a category of videos that is watched by a small amount of people, but that is still big enough to get a viral video. So for example, when Dream made this series about PewDiePie's seed, he was appealing to the niche that was PewDiePie's fanbase, who were interested in his Minecraft content. The same thing with Eric when he made a video about how he met Logan Paul and did something with his couch. That applied to the niche of Logan Paul's fans. Because when you start a YouTube channel, people don't care about you. So the best way to get views is to talk about something they already care about. So for example, famous YouTubers. Bring something new to the table. Say for example, I discovered this crazy thing about this YouTuber and it's gonna change YouTube. I don't know, I'm giving an extreme example, but you know what I mean. You have to expand on the conversation. And then once you've got that initial audience of, for example, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers, then you can start doing some original content. And that's when you'll grow extremely fast. So for example, once MrBeast got the audience of PewDiePie's fans, that's when he started doing his giveaways. And that's when he grew extremely big. Once Dream as well got the audience of PewDiePie's fans, that's when he started Minecraft Manhunt, which was his original content. Same thing for Beluga. He talked about the Minecraft niche, he talked about things that just Minecraft user couldn't pass on. So study those channels, study YouTube, study how big YouTubers made it, and watch a lot of these videos. Also, you'll have to spend at least 3 or 4 years on YouTube before you actually start understanding what's actually happening. But this video hopefully will save you at least 6 months of research.